My name is Catherine Butler. This is Movement for Life. We are doing mat Pilates today. Make sure that your muscles are warmed up, you have good blood flow. If you haven't warmed up yet, go out, exit out of this and go to my warm-up. There's about a 15-minute warm-up, so you're gonna have to scroll down my page to find the warm-up, but make sure that you get good and warmed up, and then you can come back to this workout. So you wanna make sure that you have good blood flow to all the muscles in the body. We are gonna be working on abductors and adductors a lot today. So you wanna make sure that you have the legs good and warmed up. The experts tell us that the core runs from the shoulders all the way down to the knees, and then it's all these muscles in between. The powerhouse of the core are the muscles that surround the belly button. So anytime that we talk about core work, we're talking about the muscles that are running through the shoulders, the muscles that run through the hips, the powerhouse, the muscles that support the spine, and the muscles that run down and connect to the knees. So all those muscles are the core. So we are going to be doing core work even though it is abductors and adductors today. We're going to begin in a hands and knees position. Make sure that the hands are directly under the shoulders and then the knees are stacked under the hips. From here, we're going to reach the right arm forward and the right leg back, same arm as leg. Begin to lift and lower. Now we're going to have to balance on that left side without lifting that right hip. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, hold. Now we do open up that right hip and we reach towards the ceiling, then we reach forward, lower the hip, and then lower the arm and leg. Lift, open side, reach, close the hip and lower the arm. Lift, open, reach and lower. Lift, open, reach, lower. One more time. Lift, open, reach, and lower. Come back to hands and knees. This time we reach the right hand and left leg. So opposite arm from leg. Lift to tabletop and lower. Lift, lower. Continue in that hands and knees position. Lift and hold. Now we're going to bend the knee, reaching the hand back towards the toe. Notice how that makes a bow shape. And then we're going to lengthen to an arrow. It's a bow and arrow. Bow, arrow. Bow, arrow. One more time. Bow, arrow, lower down. We're coming to the other side, so I'm going to switch so I can face you. Back to the hands and knees position. This time it's the left arm that lengthens and the left leg. And we lift without opening the hip and lower. So the hip continues to face the floor. Lift. We're balancing now on that right side. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift and hold. Open side, reach to the ceiling. Lower the hip and lower the arm and leg. Lift, open side, lengthen and lower. Lift, open side, lengthen and lower. Lift, open side, lengthen, come back to hands and knees. This time it's left arm, right leg, opposite arm from leg. Lift to tabletop and lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Lift and hold. Bend the knee, reach the hand back to the bow, lengthen to the arrow. It's a bow and arrow. Bow, arrow. Bow, arrow. One more time. Bow, arrow, lower down. Push hips back. We're going back to the hands and knees position. And it's still the opposite arm from leg. So let me go back to that. left arm, right leg, lift and lower. This is where you stay if you don't want the progression. If you do want the progression, we take it from a plank position. So we're holding plank, we reach right arm and lift left leg. Lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. One more time, lift, lower, bend the knees, push hips back for a quick break. That plank work gets pretty intense. So we're coming back to hands and knees. This time it's going to be right arm, left leg, lifting and lowering, or if you can handle more intensity, we take it to plank. Reach right arm, lift left leg, lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. One more time, lift, lower, bend knees, push hips back, reach arms forward. In Pilates, we call this a piece of heaven. In yoga, it's known as a child's pose. It's a resting pose. We're going to come onto our side now. Resting our head in our hand. The knees are bent. The feet lifted. The toes stay glued together. The top knee opens and closes. Open, close. Like a clamshell. This top hand is helping to stabilize. This is working abductors. Open, close, open, close, open and hold. Now we're going to disconnect the top toe and we're going to touch the top knee to the knee, to the toe. Knee, toe, knee, toe. We keep that bottom toe disconnected from the floor. We touch the knee and the toe, the knee, the toe, knee, toe. One more, knee, toe. Now reconnect the toes and it's a quicker drop and open, close, open, close, open, close, open. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Lower the feet, lengthen the legs, come up onto our elbow, reach the top arm over the hip, and both legs lift. The legs are up to the front corner of the mat. They lift and lower. Notice what's happening in waistline. Lift and lower. Even though this is working the legs and the hip, there's also a lot of abdominals engaged. Lift, lower. Now reach the arm to the ceiling. Lift the legs higher. Lift higher. 2 more. Last one. We're going to lay all the way down and torso and legs together, lift and lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Lift. Double pulse at the top. It's a lift, lift and lower. Lift, lift, lower. Lift, lift, lower. One more time. It's a lift, lift and lower. Excellent. Now, lengthen the bottom arm and bend the knees. Begin to lift the hips, reaching the top arm towards the ceiling. Drop the hips. Lift. This is our level 1 side plank. Lift and lower. Lift, lower. Level 2 lengthens the top leg if you want that level. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Level 3 is both legs straight. Feet can be stacked or the top leg can be in front. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift and hold. arm scoops under and opens. Scoop under, open, scoop under, open. One more time, scoop under, open, lower the hips. Switching sides, we begin with the clamshell. We rest our head in that lower hand, top hand helping to stabilize. Lift the toes and glue the toes together. Open and close, open, close, open, close, open, close. 2 more. Last one. Disconnect the toes. Open that top knee. The top knee is going to touch the bottom knee and the bottom toe. Touch the knee, touch the toe. Knee, toe. Knee, toe. Knee, toe. Knee, toe. 2 more cycles. Last one. And bring the toes back together and open and close. Quicker set. Open, close, open, close. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the feet, lengthen the legs out to the front corner of the mat. Come up onto our elbow, reach the top arm over the hip, bring awareness to waistline and lift the legs and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Begin to reach that arm up towards the ceiling, lift the legs higher, lift higher, lift higher. 1 more. Excellent, laying all the way down on our side, torso and legs lift and lower, lift, lower. Bring awareness to the tummy muscles, the powerhouse of the core, how they help. It's a pulse, pulse, and lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Lift, lift, lower. Lift, lift, and lower. Excellent. Working through side plank. Level 1 with bent knees. Bottom arm is straight. Make sure we're not slouching into the shoulder, but we're lifting. And begin to lift the hips, reaching the top arm towards the ceiling. Drop and lift. Lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower and hold. Lengthen the top leg. Level 2, side plank. Lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, and hold. Lengthen both legs. They can be stacked or 1 foot in front. Begin to lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower. This one we lift and we hold high. We scoop that top arm under and open. Scoop under, open. Scoop under, open. 1 more time. Scoop under, open, lower down. Notice how that just really makes everything long. Pilates helps to lengthen all the muscles in the body. We lengthen to strengthen. We're gonna go to the series of 5. We'll do it traditional. You wanna see the series of 5, whether it's a variation or traditional, at least one of the exercises in every Pilates class that you do. So we're gonna lay all the way down, pull the knees into the chest, curl up, lifting head, neck, shoulders. First of the series. Double bent leg stretch. The legs lengthen to strengthen. We reach arms overhead. We pull in. Lengthen to strengthen, pull in. Lengthen, pull in. Lengthen, pull in. Lengthen, pull in. Lengthen, pull in. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Lower the head. Look side to side, shaking out any tension through the head or the neck. Second of this series, one leg is straight, it hovers over the floor, the other knee is into the chest. We curl up, lifting head, neck, shoulders. We curl up higher, 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 and then we stay lifted. That's where the work happens. And we switch the knees. Switch, switch, switch. Let's go right into the single straight leg stretch, third of the series. Continue to keep the torso lifted. Continue to switch the legs. 2 more. Last one, both legs to the ceiling. Hands gently behind the head. Keep head, neck, shoulders lifted. The legs push down and lift. The series of 5 targets every single muscle in the abdominals in these 5 exercises. You want to exhale on the hardest portion of the move. Keep lower backs down or a neutral spine. You don't want to lift the lower back and create a crawl space. 2 more. Last one. Let's go to the crisscross. One knee in, other leg lengthened, opposite elbow to knee, and switch, 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 switch. Let's accelerate the movement for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Staying down. We're going to work now with inner thigh. I said at the beginning we would do abductors, which we've already done, and adductors. So this is inner thigh. Keep head, neck, and shoulders down. Arms open to a capital T. Pull the knees into the chest. Glue the big toes together. Imagine you have a $100 bill between those toes and you don't want anybody to grab it and you don't want it to drop. Allow the knees to open. Let's see, I'm gonna twist and hopefully you can get a better view of how this looks. So the knees are open, arms to a capital T. Now we lengthen legs, squeezing inner thighs together. We open and bend the knees and open them. Lengthen, squeeze together, bend and open. Lengthen, open, lengthen, open, lengthen, open, lengthen, open. 2 more. Lengthen. Last one. Now we're going to close and open the knees. Close, open. So we're pulling inner thigh together. Pull and open. Pull, open. Pull, open. 2 more. Close and open. Now lengthen, bend, close. So we made a pattern. We put the 2 moves together. Close and open, lengthen, bend, close, open, lengthen, bend, close, open, lengthen, bend, close, open, lengthen, bend, close, open. 2 more. Last one, and close and open, lengthen the legs. Flex the feet, bend, point and lengthen. Flex, bend, point, lengthen. Flex, bend, point, lengthen. Flex, bend, point, lengthen. Flex, bend, point, lengthen. 1 more. Bend, point, and lengthen. Lift 1/3. 2/3. All the way. Bend, open, lengthen. 1/3 of the way. Lift 2/3. Lift all the way. Bend, open, lengthen. Lift 1/3. 2/3. All the way. Bend, open, lengthen. Lift 1/3. 2/3. All the way. Bend, open, lengthen. Lift 1/3. 2/3. All the way. Bend. 1 more time. Lift 1/3. 2/3. All the way, bend. Beautiful. Keep the arms out to a capital T. Lengthen legs. Thinking of the direction that a clock goes clockwise, little tiny corkscrew. Now keep the shoulders down, make the corkscrew a little bigger. Now begin to bring awareness to the muscles that surround the belly button, the powerhouse of the core. Take that circle a little bigger. Make sure it's a circle and not an oval. Do not cut off the edges. Make it a little bigger. Make it a little bigger. And go as big as you can. Initiate the movement from the center. bend the knees. We have the other direction to go, lengthen legs, counterclockwise, little tiny corkscrew. Imagine you have a pole from the belly button lengthened up to the feet. And it's the muscles around the belly button moving. Make it a little bigger. A little bigger. Bring awareness to abdominals, to the powerhouse of the core. Make it a little bigger. A little bigger. Make sure it's not an oval, it's a circle. And go as big as you can. Big giant corkscrew. One more giant corkscrew. And pull the knees into the chest. One more abdominal exercise. Feet on the floor, hands behind the head. Curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders, and lower down. Curl up, lower down. Curl up and lower. This time we're going to pull the right knee in, lower it down. Pull in, touch the toe. Pull in, touch the toe, lift. Now bring right elbow to right knee. Right elbow, right knee. Right elbow, right knee. Right elbow, right knee. Begin to reach right arm overhead. Lengthen the right leg. It's a lift and a lower. Right arm, right leg, and lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Two more. Last one. Open the right arm out to the side. Keep the right leg lengthened. Reach the left arm overhead. We're going to sit all the way up and reach. So we're reaching across on this one. Reach across. Reach across. Lift and reach. One more. Lift and reach and lower down. Switching sides. Begin with both feet on the floor, both hands gently behind the head. Curl up and down. Curl up and down. Lift, lower, lift. Begin to lift the left knee. Touch the left toe. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. This time it's left elbow to left knee. Left elbow, left knee. Same elbow as knee. Left elbow, left knee. Begin to reach the left arm overhead and lengthen the left leg. It's a lift and a lower. Lift, lengthen, lift, lengthen, lift, lengthen. Two more. Last one. And reach the left arm out to the side. Reach the right arm overhead. We're going to come up to the tailbone to reach. Lower down. Lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Two more. Last one. Beautiful job. Pull your knees in, rock yourself up to be seated. Great work. Let's do a quick stretch. Bring the bottom of the feet together, hands connect to the ankles, round the spine forward. Breathe deep. Lift and lengthen the chin, lengthen the spine, but continue to lean forward. Breathe deep. Find a moment of relaxation. Now round the forehead towards the toes. Keep the spine round to lean back, separating shoulder blades, dropping the chin towards the chest. And sit tall. I want to make sure that we really stretch out those inner thighs. So lengthen the legs forward, begin to walk hands forward, and drop the elbows. Continue to breathe through your relaxation. Roll up, bring arms over legs, lean forward and reach. Fingertips to toes, fingertips to toes. Just sweep across, sweep across, sweep across, sweep across. Reach, 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 reach and center. Roll up make sure we stretch those abductors, the outer hip. Bend the right knee into the chest, cross the right leg over the left, and then twist the torso towards the bent knee. Lift the spine long and turn and look behind you. Really pull that knee towards the chest, lengthening that outer hip. And face front, cross the ankle over the knee, bend both knees, use the hands to help thread those knees towards the chest and lean forward. There's another stretch for the outer hip. And release. Lengthen the right leg, bend the left knee, cross the left leg over the right, twist towards the bent knee, turn and look behind you, pulling that knee in towards the chest. Keep the spine very long. And face front. Cross the left ankle over the right knee, bend to the right knee, use the arms to thread the legs towards the chest and lean forward. We want to be able to maintain good flexibility throughout our hips to keep good mobility throughout our lives. Flexibility for mobility. Bend the bottom knee. This might be the place where you can go today. What we're aiming for is to get one knee stacked on top of the other. So if you can pull that leg in a little closer, you can go there and you can move until your knees are stacked one on top of the other. And that will really help open up the hips. But if your flexibility only allows you to be here today, that's okay. It's something to work towards, that flexibility. Keep the spine long. Breathe. This is a position that really points out where my hip flexibility is and that I can really work for some more hip flexibility. And switch sides. Put the other leg on the bottom. So this might be where you can go today. If you can even bend that bottom knee, it might need to be out. What we're aiming for is the knees stacked one on top of the other. You'll notice one side is easier for me than the other. Definitely having the right leg on top is a lot more flexible for me, which shows me I really need to work on my left side. We're going to keep the spine long, and we're going to breathe through this pose. It's okay to sit in a little bit of discomfort. It's actually good for our bodies sometimes, as long as you're not causing searing pain. But if it can allow an increase in flexibility, that's a good thing. And just bring the legs to a very comfortable position. Let's place one hand on the floor, stretch up and over, sweep across the legs, stretch the other direction. And great job today. Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale, lift. Bring the hands together. Exhale. Bring the hands to the forehead, to the heart, to the navel, recentering the body.